After 2 turns of Rock of the Marne, the Allies are trying to define their lines. One to about here, but they haven't covered the southern flank there. Likewise, from here, well, they're still pulling back over on this side, and they've got a big gap there. And this area they have to pull back from, but they're trying to do it slowly. And then down to Epernay itself, they don't have anything south of there. So it's really hard to figure out just where you can defend and where you can't at this point. But they are confident enough in their ability, given that nothing's out of supply except for these Americans, which they moved as far as they could, that they actually left one air unit not committed so that it won't break down, and only sent one unit out on cap. That's to protect the American unit, really. Do what they can against it. Alright, so here I am on the end of the German turn 3. Flip that over. And I still pretty much have the significant feeling that I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. I had one combat destroying that U.S. unit. Ground in and of itself just doesn't seem worth fighting too hard for, even though that's the victory condition here, because I want to destroy units. I want to make sure that the casualties they take are at least what I'm taking, because I know I'm going to get attacked later, and I can even take it from another side. This isn't a race to get as much as I can. There's no automatic victory if I take enough. On the other hand, for the French, the same thing is kind of in play. Gee, I don't want to lose things. So they're pretty much willing to fall back wherever supply is threatened or whatever. So I'm not seeing a lot of conflict in this supposed war game. Again, I'm not really familiar and comfortable with the system, but looking at the victory conditions and considering the situation, I don't see a reason to stand and fight on either side. To me, the Germans' goal, quite honestly, is to grab territory, but only if they can defend it after the reinforcements start coming. So what do we have? Well, I'm continuing to push to try to pocket these guys and chase them out, because, you know, if I can take Chalon, that's worth significant points, and I might be able to hold that because it's on the other side of the Marne. Most of the points down here, yeah, I'm grabbing what I can in terms of position, and stretching as far as I can. And actually, maybe the French are not doing enough to get down there. It looks like they can't, though. And especially now with the choices I've made, I'm not really sure that I can defend that area ever again. But, you know, I'm avoiding making this attack across the river here because I know it's just going to be painful. Better to try to cut them out of supply. And it's just a very strange feeling for a game. I feel kind of as though I just don't know what I'm doing. But also, I have put some thought in, and I don't see what else I could do. Alright. So after 3 turns, I'm continuing my somewhat mindless romp with the battle with the Rock of the Marne. Allies are pretty developed with a line here. Of course, they had a developed line at the beginning of the game, too. And, you know, if you're willing to take losses, I guess you can crack such things. It's just, why bother when you can just outflank the enemy? German position is still very strong through the center here. French are trying to make sure they don't get cut off. over here, and they've got more troops coming in, which this is kind of a risky area for everyone involved because there aren't enough German troops to really develop a line there either. They will have to see what they can do. Over in the Reims area, the French have pretty much pulled out. They've got a couple of units at risk here. These are big units, so that could be bad if they got cut off of supply. Over in the bad terrain, though, or good terrain, depending on whose view you're looking at, they do have a stronger position. They could have extended support better to those units. My feeling is that I can probably get out of there. I may be mistaken. And then over here, we're falling back towards the Marne because there's nothing of value up there. The Germans will, of course, pursue, because why not? There's a French headquarters which came on the edge here. Probably indicates that I'm not doing too well with the French since it's trying to find its way back. What did we get? No, this guy didn't move. He just came on. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. Probably pull him back to here. He came on, he was a damaged unit that returned, and that seemed like a good general place to start pushing some troops. Well, I still don't know if I'm doing the right thing here, but feels extraordinarily Go-like in the sense that every time you move to attack, the defender has to pull back and try to establish a stronger position somewhere. Which isn't terrible, it's just, I kind of expect to be rolling some dice every now and then. So, the Germans are engaging, for whatever that means, along the front that the Allies built here, and they did not push as hard as they could for good reason here, but they did position themselves rather well to threaten that city. In the mountainous terrain, they're putting the Italian units at great risk. I sort of intended to attack there. Oh well. And they did cut off those French troops that were near Reims. Those are going to have to try to escape. They're threatening the French right flank over here. I got to decide whether or not to make that attack against the Italians. It's 3-1. I could get more shifts than they have. No. They could leave it at 3-1. 3-1 doesn't seem good enough, so it's not worth the risk. Maybe when we look at the 3-1 table, it's average about the same results.